where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious. Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious. Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious. Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious.
All right. We here, we lit. Another beautiful episode of Elevated Wisdom. I am your neighborhood friendly intoxicated DJ, and my brother from another mother, Ahmad Jermaine, is in
Roger,
the
man.
building. Yes, sir. How
How
you
you
doing, my
doing, my
bro?
brother?
Another day, another
Good.
dollar. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's on your mind today?
Well, I watched it's an older interview. I think it was back in '98.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence McKenna, and it blew my mind because
Mm.
everything he talked about at that point is happening like right now,
Mm-hmm.
and it got me to thinking. And then for about 2 or 3 days, I kept having this thought, and it was a bunch of things all together. So I had to write it down. And I'm gonna read this thought and then try and articulate it the best way um, for people to kind of grasp or understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically it starts, how the world we are experiencing now is an illusion, a stage to test our fears and our ability to remember who we are. What if I am every single person in my family tree experiencing itself all at once since time doesn't exist? Everything is happening now because the past and future are irrelevant. It's only that present moment. Everyone is existing in this play and have agreed to play a role within my own evolutionary process, right? Since
Mm.
we are all mirrors and reflections of each other, we are also helping one another with their own processes and things they need to work out.
Mm.
Since we are all what okay, hold on. Yeah, we're all here to assist everyone in their own evolution that connects us all. We are all our own universes within our with our own lessons, but are all part of the universal wave of consciousness.
Mm.
In every generation, I'm the child, the parent, working through all of my own insecurities and limited beliefs, bouncing from teacher to student, from parent to child. This will speed up my ability to learn, embody, and overstand to evolve. It also allows me to repeat the lessons if I didn't quite grasp the point. All in all, the human experience is solely about my own evolution to further my own overstanding that I am infinite and consciousness itself.
Mm.
So basically, what I was trying to say is, what if everybody in my whole family tree, it's just me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm experiencing myself over and over through all timelines, which is happening right now at this moment, to best learn what I need to learn or repeat what I need to learn to speed up that process of evolution.
Yeah.
And then from there, since we know it's illusion and we are playing a role in most people that are in our lives, whether they're parents, enemies, they all agreed to play the part to help my own evolution, which in turn, the part I'm also playing for them is helping their evolution. And since
Mm-hmm.
we're all consciousness, when we have the human experience, we're individually separating from that consciousness to have an individual experience, but yet we're all still part of consciousness itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole purpose of the experience is to remember that you are infinite, let go of all those fears. You are infinite and you are consciousness itself. So that was just something that's just popped in my head, and it's just wanted to talk about it a little bit. Like, what are your thoughts
Well, I would like
on
to
that?
dig in a little deeper with you, since this was
Okay.
so profound to you. What about it? Let's dissect it. What was transformative for you?
Um, that I am everyone at once in my lineage, I should say, in my family tree. So all of the things that I'm going through and all the things that I have experienced with my siblings, my parents, grandparents, it's all me going through all those different emotions, all those different reactions, all those different possibilities, decisions, actions, responses. All of that is going on, and it's led me to where I'm at right now.
Mm.
And it's a very for me it was a profound thing because we always think if I would have done this differently, I would have this, or what if, where in reality, every decision, everything you're doing, or everything you don't do is still bringing you to the point where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's bringing to you right now, what knowledge have you gained about yourself more than anything? What awareness have you gotten?
Mm.
And from that awareness, now what are you deciding to do for yourself? What are you deciding to do when it comes to your triggers, when it comes to a choice to make? Are you still gonna shrink because of fear? Are you gonna take that step? Or are you, like
Mm.
it's really put me in a place again to shatter that illusion that I have to be perfect. My life has to be the way that I've scripted it in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
That still will shy away from certain things because of my inability or my insecurity, basically, my inability to see the self worth in me or my insecurity.
Mm.
And it also makes me look at all those things that I've hid myself from or tried to shy away for fear of failure or being hurt. What if in reality I take the chance and do it, and the only hurt I'm getting is from my own suffering, from choosing not to just do what I would like to do, because it's the whole experience is to try it all.
Mm.
And whether it turns out great, whether it turns out not so great, does it really matter? And in my opinion, now that I'm looking at things all this way, it really doesn't, because I'm still on this process of understanding me, my own evolutionary process. I'm still working toward what I chose my soul wants or wants to experience, or who I choose that I want to be or that I am. And there's so many more questions that I have just thinking of this as well. But I guess the biggest point is letting go of just the fears, because in reality I will say I've suffered more in my own mind than I have in actual time or actual being in those actual moments. I've suffered more in my head, and I've created a narrative and believed in a lot of the limited beliefs or the fear of not being accepted or this or that, and that's what we got to let go of, is that fear of someone's approval, that fear of being disappointed, that fear of, because that is what's, in my opinion, holding back at least my own evolution, is me still hanging on and believing in a lot of those fears that truthfully don't exist unless I take part in it, right?
Mm.
So I mean that's just where I'm at there. Um,
Since this new perception, how are you, what kind of changes are you making in your life? What kind of changes have you made? And what is different in your experience now that you have this information?
it's only been a couple days, so I haven't really implemented a lot. Um, the biggest thing is now not holding myself prisoner of a moment because of the thought which triggered an emotion.
Mm.
I'm now allowing the thought to play itself out, and now I'm deciding, I'm responding instead of reacting to the emotion, and asking myself, is this a real, what is the purpose of the emotion? Why do I feel inadequate? Why am I terrified? Why? And as I'm speaking through it, I'm starting to see that it's the boogeyman, and it doesn't exist. It's just me creating those narratives.
Mm.
So I'm slowly peeling the onion back to see that the narratives are not true. And I'm now choosing to experience those things and not have a, what's it, where you already know how it's going to be before you do something. What do you call that?
Clairvoyant or
No, no,
like
no, like
future.
when someone's like, "Hey, try this dish," and you're like, "I don't like that. I don't eat that stuff." and
Mm-mm-mm.
you're like, no, it's pretty good. Try it. And you know how I've done that many a times. Like that's just not something I do. Where I've never tried it to know if that is what I do or don't do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying.
I just can't think of there's a word. I'm sorry, I can't think of it right now. But
Kind of like
yeah,
mind reading, but mind reading on the
there you go. I
situation.
wanted to say that, but there's another one. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm no longer mind reading and allowing things to play out
yeah. Mm,
and not trying to have it go the way that I want it to go, which matches the emotion, if that makes sense.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Very much so.
I'm just,
So,
I'm, yes, go ahead.
and then I was just gonna say, for myself as a gamer, right? Um,
Hmm.
it's the same concept of I'm playing this game called Mass Effect, and in this game, there's action, obviously, but the point of the game is the story behind it, right? So you are interacting with the characters in the story, and based on your choices of how what to say, and it's programmed like you have three choices,
Yeah,
and one choice is good, one choice is neutral, and one choice is it's bad, right? So the game plays of your emotions, how you feel about making those decisions, right? I will pick a choice knowing damn well this is a fucking video game, it's not real, there's nobody getting hurt, and I will feel the negative emotions like if I was making those decisions in real life, right?
yeah,
And that for me was a similar epiphany that you've had, where to me that's where, like, feelings are not real. My emotions are just a byproduct of my brain and my eyesight, right? What I see versus what I imagined will then create a feeling for me. And that's really how I came to that conclusion, is through those video games, is that how am I feeling these, oh, I shouldn't have done this, oh, this is bad, oh, like these social constructs, these rules that we've placed upon ourselves socially, how does that carry
yeah.
into a video game? How do I feel bad about destroying a fake world when none of that is real? And it's just like, okay. So my feelings are simply reactions. So I can base whether or not socially my actions, my thought, and what I'm experiencing are okay with everyone else. And for me, that became the most difficult aspect of that, is because now I'm only doing so people don't react a way that it is not
Hmm.
conducive into my experience.
I
I
see what you're saying.
walk on eggshells in society because it's now, as soon as I step out of my reality, it's all about everybody else's. It's about how they feel. And I personally have convinced myself that it is doesn't matter how I feel, I have to abide by everybody else feels. I can't cough in public. I cannot feel comfortable smoking my marijuana in public because it has been deemed publicly that it is a negative thing. So now I feel a
Yeah,
negative feeling because everybody else has placed this social construct of this is a bad thing to do around everybody else, which is absolutely redonkulous to me and funny to me. And where's another reason why I just quit fucking with people in general. Like I'm really really done. Smokey the Bear's in the building. Let's get it. Welcome to the conversation, my bruh. Have a wonderful Friday. Oh, Saturday. Shit.
yeah.
Um,
It's Saturday, man.
yeah, man, that's the that's the thing, going back to what you were reading, it's I would like to speak on the consciousness aspect of what you were saying, and you had mentioned that, like, right, you are part of the consciousness that is everyone else, right? The family tree, everybody you come in contact with, you, it is one consciousness, so you can understand each perspective from each person, each experience. And all of those consciousness goes back down to one, right? And so if that is the case, in my opinion, right, there is no difference from anybody. So like you were saying, I agreed to be them, the here for them. In my opinion, we are not separated. It is all one consciousness, right? And it has to be separated for it to make sense. When we have so much information, all perspectives at once, it is a different experience than cutting out all the noise and just experiencing one perspective at a time.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine all the most wonderful music in this world that you've ever heard, ever in your life. All the beautiful music, beautiful tunes. Now mash them all together all at once. How do you think it would sound? Probably crazy chaotic, not as
Chaotic.
right, not as beautiful, as soothing, as whatever it may be, as if you just take one of those songs and pay attention and experience that one fucking song. Not for how long it is, not for how loud it is, not for one particular reason, but to truly experience the song. And I believe that's what you were talking about, right? The experiencing this life. It isn't about wrong. It isn't about right. It isn't about making the right choices. It's just experiencing it. Like you said, as far as the decision goes, right? There's no wrong, there's no right decision. It all brings you to this point. And this point is the point of living, because it is the experience that teaches what we been pondering. What happens if I eat this wonderful food that is called McDonald's? Eventually, you're going to look in the mirror like, oh shit, that's what happens if I just experience this, right? I have to mix this with something else. So it's really definitely interesting. But at the same time, for me, it's so contradicting to know, because to know doesn't change anything except for drive me crazy. I understand these concepts, yet I'm overwhelmed by feelings, by depression. I find myself in places where nothing matters. I find myself in places where I don't give a fuck about anybody. I find myself in places where it's like, yeah, this, none of this really makes a difference. So why do a podcast? Why pretend? Why? Right? And
Mm.
this is the duality that comes with knowledge. You get to a place where you get rid of all the blockage, you get rid of all the um set beliefs that you once had, and you realize, but then you either participate and believe in these constructs, or alienate yourself and live with the knowledge and not participate in the constructs and the lies and the illusions and this. But if you are going to participate, guess what, my friend? You're going to have to put a blockage on that knowledge. you're gonna have to pretend like it's real. You're gonna have to pretend like those feelings are the end of the world, or they're gonna make it all like the love you have for your wife and your kids and this and the sacrifices you make for them and blah blah blah. You really have to buy into all that bullshit if
See, and I
you're
don't.
not gonna believe the other stuff, right? Go ahead, go ahead.
Well, that's what I came to the realization is we say we make all these sacrifices for someone else, but in reality, it always comes back to us because I want them to be happy because that gives me greater satisfaction. When they're smiling, now I feel loved. You see what I'm saying? So I do like I really believe every decision and choice we make, it still comes back to what we want. We'll say it's for someone else and we can justify it, but deep down, there's always going to be something in it for you. That's just, and that again, that's my opinion of what, how honestly, we've done everything
Mm-hmm.
and how I continue to go about things as well. And I really started seeing how, for me, love has always been conditional. And truthfully, I've been giving it out conditionally too.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something, a big realization that I had as well, that I I don't know what unconditional love feels like, let alone have I actually given it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big question. But going back to what you were saying, yes, I do think we are all consciousness, but for us to have the human experience, it has to be individualized. And I think that's when we separate from the wave and then we become the drop.
Mm-hmm.
We're still the water and we're still consciousness, but now we get to experience it ourselves without everybody assisting us in this process, right? Because if we're
Mm-hmm.
all consciousness, we can all communicate. And then that way, there's never disrespect because we're all on the same page. I never feel unloved because we're all love.
Mm-hmm.
I never feel the fear because everybody's supporting and the idea we're all doing it together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was saying when it came to that particular part, we are all a universe within ourselves, but we're experiencing it individually. And through that, that's why I think, in my opinion, we have that fear. We have that because we're so used to being unconditional love. We're so used to having the support and we're so used to being together because we're consciousness that now when we're individualized, we that fear sets in because we don't have anything anymore. We don't have anybody or groups of thousands of people agreeing like, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we can be this. We can now it's just you having to stand on your own 2 feet and embodying your own truths regardless of what the masses tell you, regardless of what your parents and like you say, all those other constructs that are saying, hey, these are your left and right limits. This is how you're going to navigate. Anything outside that, we can't tolerate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a big part of the process and the journey is to navigate what resonates with you and be able to stand on your 2 feet, regardless of the truth, regardless of that consequence, if you know that is the right thing for you. And only you will know that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell you. My parents couldn't tell me. I have to know. And that's something now with my kids that I'm trying to do is manage and not tell them how they're supposed to feel or what they should be thinking. Allow them to process those things themselves and me just be more of somebody to assist guiding them, um, but not trying to, do basically, how my parents, you speak when you're told, you do this, that, allow them that space to be themselves, and then allow them to express those emotions, but also ask them questions about the emotions, ask them questions about the decision. Why
Mm-hmm.
did you feel the need to? Why did you want? How did you feel when you did do that? And, that's going to give more awareness for them. And my goal is to empower them to love themselves and who they are, and continue to support them making their own decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and not beat them down on question like you shouldn't have done that, that was bad, this and that, because eventually if you nitpick and nag on everything, then they're going to slowly not make decisions at all and hesitate. And I went through this, and as you become an adult, that is going to hinder your development, in my opinion, because now you're going to waver based off of what you feel you should do based off of the construct or program that you're used to doing. And a lot of times you won't do what is necessary for you, the
Mm.
things that will bring you joy, will bring you peace. You won't for the fear of the reprisal, everything that's going to come with it.
No.
Um, but yeah, like life in a sense, like we've talked about this so many times, it is just duality. Night and day, cold and hot. You know, you decide or you don't decide. But either way, a decision will be made for you. So why not make the things and try the things that you want to do and let go of that fear or that belief that we're not good enough, that I'm gonna disappoint someone. Because the reality is this: the moment you choose yourself, you will disappoint someone. That's just facts. The moment, and I'll say it again, the moment you choose yourself, you will disappoint someone. Now, it works both ways. Because now, when the moment someone chooses themselves, you can't be upset at the choice that they made either. Because you
Mm.
felt you wanted this or you needed that, and you have to be understanding and have that empathy as well as some compassion when it comes to other people. Um, but again, that's where those boundaries are there for. And as long as you're upholding them and okay with the boundaries that you put up, because I in the beginning I put boundaries up, but when it came time for me to be 10 toes down, I would hesitate because of the old thinking. I don't want this person to be mad. Oh, I don't want this person to be upset. Oh, if they act this way now, I'm gonna feel some type of way, so I might as well. Or now it's like, hey, they're gonna feel how they're gonna feel. So
Mm.
I can't change that, but I need to do things so I'm feeling good about me, because it's pointless to continue to do things and now you're suffering in silence, right? Because no one at the end of the day ever really cares as long as they get their way. And I had to see that, like, damn, I was doing the same thing. Like, I didn't give a fuck as long as I got my way. And I had to really step back and be aware, like, man, if I want these things and I want people to respect my boundaries, then I have to start respecting other people's. I have to be aware that they may feel how I felt at this particular time. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Once you decide, you have to be good with the decision. You can't still waver, be on the fence. You got to be good with it, and move forward and know that's the best thing for you.
I would like to
But
challenge that thought real quick and say you don't have to. Their alternative choice. The only thing that has to be done, which in turn is a choice, right? And if you choose to do that and not understand to you have to give it to others to create an experience, you will create your own experience at that. And it may not be the ideal that you may had or we have, but it is an experience, right? And there are many people out there who have gotten that far, made those choices
Mm.
understand that, but cannot let go of that, and cannot let go of the fact that, okay, yeah, if I'm gonna get my way, I'm gonna let y'all have your way, right? And that is, in my opinion, the harder choice to make, because it feels different than always what we imagined. Letting somebody else be completely themselves and still fully unconditionally love them for it, ooh, is
Yeah,
possible.
that's that.
But that, oof,
Yeah.
there's levels to that, that we all get to a point where it's like, nah, that's as far as I'm gonna go, right? Some people,
Yeah.
that's why they cannot have open relationships. I could not see my partner be with another person. Hell no, I will never know. That's it, I'm
Yeah.
done. Oh, okay. Oh, so that's how far your love goes. Okay, I understand. Oh, well, no, this person is horrible with money. Oh, okay. Financially, that's where your love goes. Okay, that's how
Yeah.
deep it goes. Oh, this person's dirty. Okay. So is this okay? There's always a level that we're not willing to go, and that is okay, right? That is it. That is all. And so, but that is okay to say, nah, that's just how I'm gonna be. Be like, cool. There's plenty of other people just like you that you can get along with just fine. Why are you trying to be in places where around with people? It's kind of like a drop of water trying to be a grain of sand.
Yeah.
You're trying
And
hard, and
and
you
and
you
you're
know what I
right.
mean?
No, no. I think
Yeah.
you're 100% right. And that's it goes back to our awareness of self. I think a lot of times we're not aware of what we like and what we don't until we're in those positions, and then we feel obligated, right? Like, oh,
Mm,
fuck. Or, I know for me, like my last situation, it was like, well, I made my bed. I just got to suck it up. I knew better, but I chose anyway. So I'm just gonna figure this shit out,
yeah.
knowing that I should just got out of that sooner because it wasn't conducive for me. It
Yeah.
wasn't the right situation. It wasn't the right person, and I knew that. Both parties knew that. But for whatever reason, we're fucking like a dog with a bone, just sitting there and just miserable, choosing to be miserable for what? Because in the end, what needed to happen happened, but we could have chose that because we knew that in the beginning.
I like to say,
So no,
for some people, they choose to stay there because it's familiar, and the
yeah,
belief that we deserve this. It is a bitch to be 10 toes down in a belief that somebody else is at fault for what's happening right now. It gives
yeah,
you all the
and you're
reason
in,
to stay and to keep doing the same fucking shit over and over again, because it's everybody else's fault. Yeah. But
nah,
continue. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Just simply with that, because that for me
no,
hits home for
no,
me.
man, you made a good point because you're part of it and you're choosing to be there. So
Yeah.
no, 100%. I mean, valid point, and we
Eh,
all do that
yeah.
in some form or fashion. It may not be relationships, but it'd be something else. It's like you
Indeed.
said, it's familiar. I'm
Yeah.
comfortable. That fear of the unknown,
Yeah.
it's dark outside.
Yeah.
It's funny, you could walk in the woods, say sunrise. Take that same walk in the woods, dusk,
Mm.
whole nother experience.
Yeah.
Now it's dark. Those noises and shit you heard when it was daylight don't hit you the same at night.
Hmm.
And like you said, it's just funny because now it's the same animals that you saw during the day, but in your mind, it's something else. It could be
Changes.
that. It could be, you know,
Yeah. Everything you
all
didn't
these
believe in the
imaginary things.
morning, now you believe in at night. The chupacabra. It's coming to suck on them.
Yeah, And I'm not taking away, yeah, things could happen, and clearly different animals come out at night. I'm not discrediting that, but the reality is kind of like the you know, Plato's allegory, right, with the cave.
No.
I don't know if you ever
Yeah,
read
yeah,
that
yeah.
or heard it.
Most definitely. I think another, going with the consciousness aspect of it, right? If everything is
Mm-hmm.
consciousness, then consciousness can create anything. And in my belief, the reason why, or maybe these things can exist, these entities, these things that come out at night only, is because of the power of our consciousness, a group of people believing in this one entity that becomes real at night, right? And in that same sense, thinking about consciousness and how we perceive this universe, this world, this experience, we can only see, I think it's 0.00038% of light of things that are actually happening and doing. And so that's less than 1% that we can actively see. So when you have that feeling behind your head, that on your neck, that makes your hairs go up and this and that,
Mm-hmm.
the audacity that we have to believe, oh, that's just the wind, that's just nothing, or that's, you know what I'm saying? It is wild to
That's
me. But at the same time,
wild.
it kind of goes back to what we were saying as far as um understanding, right? What we know can create in real life a physical experience to a point that anything is possible. And that is why I believe there are people that have had experiences with quote unquote mythical creatures, and people living in
Mhm.
caves, and all these different things. Like the people that have experienced something, that are out here crying and talking about it, I truly believe that they have experienced those things, they have seen it, all that stuff. But it was just such an experience that they themselves cannot put or articulate well enough for us to even empathize with them, knowing damn well we have experienced similar things in different degrees, right? Like I said,
Mhm.
that neck on the back of the hair standing up, or um thinking about something, or and then something happening, or it just variety of unexplained phenomena, things that every single person have had a minor experience with, whether it was felt like a dream, a deja vu, astral walking. Like there's variety of things that are so inexplainable, we just keep to ourselves. Yet, when somebody else tries to explain these things, we are quick to not believe them. Why? Because, in my opinion, that means all our shit is real. And who wants to deal with that? I don't think anybody. Is why we go to
Yeah,
our presets.
true, but and then I would say also, and I had it and then I lost it. I would say one, in my opinion, life is stranger than fiction. Um, but I got it again. For most people, for them to believe something, they have to physically see it. But yet, if you ask them about God or Jesus, they believe it. and they haven't seen it.
Mm.
So it goes back to, like you said, the duality of things, or the programming, you know.
Mm.
I think also society, in my opinion, there's a lot of esoteric stuff that happens. There's a
Mm.
lot of spirits. There's a lot of things that I think gets done in the spirit world
Mm.
that is positive and beneficial, but because they teach us regular people that it's bad and it's evil and it's all this,
Mm.
that we stay away from it. It's taboo. It's scary. So we never really dabble in it. We never believe or go to them aspects where it's working wonders for other groups of people and things that they're doing. And if you go to many indigenous tribes, they all dibble or dabble in some form of spiritual realms and teachings, and use psychedelics to assist with that journey within, to better understand yourself.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm
You know, I think
I'm with you, man.
you said something deep there where I'd like to expand on. And you dig deep into anything, it becomes scary. Any portion, any part of wonder from the human brain, we have managed to be able to explore these whys and wonders. So when you
Mhm.
get into religion, right, deep into it, it can be very, very scary. It of the possibilities that involve that knowledge. Then there is science. And if you dig deep enough into the world of science, it can get crazy scary on the possibilities, right? And if you let's go to just nature, and you learn nature like the indigenous tribes that you speak of, and the power behind it, the knowledge behind that, it's very, very scary. And brings it kind of back to the first points we were making, that once you have the knowledge, you are making a conscious decision to now participate with a sort of disconnect from the experience. And for me, that has broken or damaged my psyche, and I'll explain that in a minute. It's Jay Sosa in the building. I appreciate you being here, fam. Much love, much love. Um, the understanding, right, that
Mhm.
feelings is a secondary thing and they're not really real, yet at days or months feeling controlled by my emotions is like playing a VR headset game where I cannot turn it off. I know it's a game. I know it's not real, but it's so fucking irritating that I'm stuck in it. Nothing that I know is allowing me to take this headset off. I'm just experiencing it. How to be okay with that? That is kind of where I'm at, in that sense of, okay, how much more do I want to know? How much deeper do I want to dig? Because it truly is making this game not that much fun anymore. Knowing all the cheat codes, knowing all the, you know what I'm saying? It is, the struggle is not a struggle anymore. Love is not as what I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Like and it brings me back to um the movie The Matrix, and that the bad guy, the guy that sold them out, right? And he's like, he's sitting there with the machine, and he's about to eat the steak, and he's like, he's like, I know all this shit is fake, man. I get it. I know this is like ones and zeros, and I know it's gonna when I put it in here, it's just some information that's telling me here that's gonna tell me that this is good and blah blah blah. I get it. It's not real. And he cuts the steak, puts it in his mouth, and he's like, but it's so fucking good. And he sells them out. That man, it just it lives on repeat in my head because that is what I constantly am doing. But rather than selling people out, I'm selling myself out.
So I guess go further though. Give me an example of how you're selling yourself out though. I hear you, but
I
I just
sell
need to maybe
myself
some context.
out by ignoring the knowledge that I have, the information that I've come to attain, the way that I've come to understand of infinite perceptions that we can have of this world. That to me equals selling out myself out. Right. So, with that, one of them has to give out, right? To be able to enjoy the experience, I have to be that, like, what is that? There's the bliss in ignorance. To be able to enjoy the feelings of heartbreak, I have to believe in the heartbreak, in that there was something deeper there, that it was meant to be, and the fantasies of the mystic of this human experience, right? Ju- eh, 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 it's the
Yeah, I can
yeah,
kind of
okay.
see. I see what, but for me, I'm now starting to see the heartbreak was never about the person. It was the attachment.
Mm-hmm.
It was what the person provided or what you believe that person provided for you. She she made me feel loved. Well, if you felt it for yourself, that person would be irrelevant in that category. So I think a lot of times we find people to cover up the deficiencies in ourselves. And once they cover it up, we no longer look at them. And now we're attached to the person because now we feel whole. Where if we came to someone whole already, we wouldn't need them to feel the the discrepancies or the insecurities because we are coming to the table or the relationship already ready for an experience. And we're not looking for something or someone else to fulfill or be a substitute to expand on that. So for us to really enjoy the experience, I now need that person because without her, I can't have the experience. Do you kind of see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been there before. Like or I have things need to be this way for me to enjoy the experience. Where in reality, if I could just be, the experience will be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm mind reading or I'm telling myself it has to look this way,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always going to be disappointed because life doesn't work how my mind's created it. It doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we create the suffering and we create the heartache because we make something as far as living complex. When in
Mm.
reality it's not a complex thing to live. But because we haven't figured out how to master our emotions, and we keep taking emotions and attaching them to things, people, and places, that's how our whole world gets wrecked. Because the moment the place change, maybe the and the person's not there, and the things we're doing to fill the void are no longer there to fill it, or we can't fill it anymore with those things, now we have a distaste for all. Where when we're just existing and we have no attachment to anything and we're just amazed at the whole process of what life is, I think it's a lot easier. And now those emotions just come and go, and we're able to identify them, but we're not hanging on to them. And that emotion doesn't dictate my overall well being. I just think emotions are, if I'm driving a car, in my opinion, the emotion is like that left or right indicator. And it's just letting you know something's going on here. Take a look at it. You're going to go left. When you go left, what do you see? Is, you know what I'm saying? And that is something now I'm really starting to understand. And it's easier in a sense to have that, the art of detachment, because it's clear, because I'm no longer having the emotion attached to whatever happens. I'm just there for what happens,
Hmm.
because I'm creating, or I'm choosing a particular emotion, whether I determine it before something happens or whether I determine it after.
Mm.
But if you ever just sit in that moment, you're not deciding anything at all. You're just experiencing it. And I think that for me was a big problem. I would already have a notion of what it would be prior to even happening, or I would build it up and my expectation would be this. And I'll be honest, I've yet to experience anything that fulfills the expectation that I already put out for myself. You know what I'm saying? But when I came into it not having any notion of what it will be, or even sometimes when I said this sucks, I'm not going to enjoy myself, a lot of times I had a good time. But it's because when I got there, I had to let go of what it will or won't be and just be in that period to exist. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
but yeah, yeah, like I hear what you're saying. But the emotions, I really believe it's just that it's almost like a check engine light for us just to be aware and look at it.
Yeah.
Because you're right, the emotion is part of that human experience, but we are not the emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I think a lot of times we get wrapped up in being the emotion because either the expectation or the attachment to the outcome of something.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's that the human experience is definitely a very interesting process, man. And the
Indeed.
moment you think you have something figured out, you get a whole bag of new tricks that you gotta go through and be like, damn, I thought I had this right. And I think that's the biggest thing now also, is giving myself some grace when I do stumble or I take two steps back, you know, and it's like you're never gonna know the song and you're not supposed to, you
No.
know. You're just supposed to continue to gain more awareness and really be amazed and have the gratitude of the experience. Um, but like you said, a lot of us are stuck just like old buddy. He wanted that taste of that steak. It wasn't the steak, it was just that taste.
That
Like you said, the
experience.
familiar.
Yeah. Because we know that
Yeah.
what it tastes like. We know what it is,
Yeah.
but we want to experience it. And because
Mhm.
of that, kind of like Oreos, I'm a diabetic. I know there's nothing in a fucking Oreo that is good, that is actually nutritious, that is actually beneficial. There's nothing about it. Yet, I put it in there because something in my head tells me that feeling, this feeling is going to shine when you we put this in our systems. And all of a sudden
Bro,
I'm like, ah, it covers. It's not gonna your thing. Now it just covers your. It's not. It's gonna block it always
Oh,
because of the filter. Yeah, it's only
yeah.
recognized as a human being.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had
It's all good.
some seashells, man, chocolate seashells. So I
Nice,
was just gonna
nice.
be like, yeah, like
Right?
I know like this isn't good, but I'll sit and eat
Yeah.
fucking 12 of them bitches. You know what I'm saying?
Alcohol,
It's
right? We know there's
yeah.
absolutely no benefit, absolutely no benefit. In fact, there is absolute opposite. It does the opposite. Is we know there is absolutely toxic to every single human being. Yet
Mhm.
we do it. Why? Because of the experience. So just like these things, this is why there is heartbreak. This is why there is all this other things that we can experience, because deep down inside people want to experience that. If you don't want to go through divorce, right? If you don't want to know what that feels like, what that experience is like, why in the world would you cheat? Oh, well, there was an
I would go
accident.
further and
Oh, there is
probably get
this.
married.
Okay, exactly, right? So in that sense, right, it's that we deep down inside, we all truly know what we want to experience. We convince ourselves that it is not mentally, yet physically we do everything to get those experience, and we blame everything else. It's because the way I was brought up, it's because the my mom or dad, it was because of my last girlfriend, it was because of my dog died, it was because of whatever it is, right? Rather than just honing it down and taking, and I'm stealing this quote from somebody else, and I cannot remember their name, extreme ownership of our decisions, not based on our environment, but based on what we wanted to do at that particular time. It takes a whole different direction, because now it breaks the concept that the environment makes the person, when in fact I know many people that have gone through the same environment as many other people that have broken them, and they have made it to the top. They have it transformed them to a better person. I know people that have had generational curses, right, throughout their family trees forever ever, and they decided to change it. Yet they grew up in the same environment because their whole family was that way, but they're choosing to change. So if that one is a possibility, then we all have that option. We all have that choice. And extreme ownership then takes out the need for pointing for whose
Yes, it's
fault it is.
accountability.
It's understanding. And if you take feelings out, then there's no reason to be in the dumps about it. Like, you just understand, okay, well, I came out here, I married a little early, thinking that I could make this decision, but I could not. Now I'm out here
I wasn't.
fighting. I did that as well. I'm out here fighting tail left and right, and I know my damn self, and I'm gonna break because I'm teeter tottering. And rather than telling somebody about it and breaking my marriage or whatever it was, I'm gonna just go ahead and sneak it because I'm that guy. I can handle it. And then I'll create that whole bullshit, and I get in trouble. But blah 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 blah, and there goes the
Mhm.
the experience. But the same with
Vicious cycle.
vicious cycle. But it goes with everything. It goes with diets, goes with religion, it goes with working out, it goes with homework, it goes with business, it goes with anything and everything. The fact in my opinion, is because of judgment, like you said, about how things should be, whether it comes with us or with somebody else, right? Oh, I should be this. No, it is what it is. That's just simply is. It is what it is. People are who they are. People will do what they need to do. And like you said, if I am just here, if I'm just experiencing, then life takes a different perspective, a different, you have this shield around you. But then you
Yeah.
find
Well, you don't
yourself,
feed them.
I just want to say this one thing. When you find yourself, when you don't feed into the social constructs, and you find yourself in that shell, you realize, holy shit, I'm alone. Knowledge, with knowledge comes solitude. And that's where I'm stuck. So I want to let you chime in onto that part.
Well, I was gonna say, like you said, once you're in there, you get caught up in the noise. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And that's all the constructs and all the societal expectations, even your own expectations. And in my opinion, the biggest thing most of us, or at least myself, didn't realize until now, the human experience is you first, you first, you who you believe you are, basically the ego, right? And that's the battle, because at the end you're taking your masculine and your feminine qualities and you're supposed to balance them out, right? And everything has a purpose. um, all of us are here to do something because that's what we chose to experience.
Hmm.
And um, for me, you made a point, and I can't think. You said, what did you say at the end where you struggle?
Oh,
Um,
the finding myself secluded once I'm starting to understand all these different concepts, and the more knowledge you have, or you think you have, the more
yeah.
secluded I feel.
Well, think about it. When you were born, in a sense, you're by yourself, right?
Hmm.
Even as you're growing up and adolescent, you're still by yourself. Your parents are there, but ultimately you are by yourself. And as we're by ourselves, we're never really by ourselves because we're still all connected to everything, but we now identify as by ourselves.
And that's
If
a key
if
point
you
I want to make. What when
go ahead.
did you when did you or when did you become aware of what by yourself actually means for you? And then I'll answer it for me.
I would say a lot of for me, everything has just been recently. And when I say recently, within the last 6 months, right?
Uh,
Realizing that I'm not by myself. I'm choosing to identify as by myself, as if I can't experience or I'm alone. But really, I'm just having this experience alone, but it's the same experience that other people are having, but we're all having it individually. And the only way you don't is if you get around like-minded people and then you start realizing I'm not the only one, but we choose to think we are the only ones suffering. We're the only ones having the worst time. We're the only ones that have bad luck. We're the only ones. Me, 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 me. Why? And it's like I had to kind of tell myself I need to get over myself in a sense. Like I'm here experiencing moments,
yeah.
but it's not gonna be what I'm creating in my mind. If I want it to be what I'm creating in my mind, then I have to do the actions. I have to continue to have the intentions on the thoughts that I want instead of resorting back to what's familiar for what
Mm-hmm.
I believe was what my life was, where in actuality, I always had the ability to change it. I just didn't believe it could change.
Yeah.
I didn't believe that those happy thoughts and those affirmations and me choosing to constantly focus on things that are beneficial for me would work because honestly it was comfortable to say woe is me, and this is what I know, and this is what I deserve, and this is what I'm going to get, and this is how I like it because it's safe for me. I was fearful of doing all those different things, of saying the affirmations, of believing I could change, because what happens when I change it?
Mm.
Now, what do I do? I'm in the unknown, doing the unknown things. Everything is unfamiliar. So, a happy emotion, a positive thing, I don't know what to do with it.
No.
Now I'm panicking, right? I'm panicking. I have anxiety. I'm panicking. What do I do with this?
Mm.
Someone's actually being nice to me. I'm 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 being nice to someone, and I don't have an alternative uh what is it, method or
Motive.
alternative motive. There, I couldn't think of it. Alternative motive to do it. Like, what am I? And as you change all those things, you start realizing everything that I created, the whole world, myself, and my whole persona that I created
Mm.
was based out of fear to fit in and please everybody else. It was never for me to experience the things I want to experience.
Mm. You know,
That was pretty sobering.
for
It was,
me,
man. Like,
I can go back as early childhood, right? My before 10 years
uh,
old, and alone to me at that time meant nobody I felt I knew was near me. That's what alone meant to me in that period of time. I needed a mother, a relative, somebody I know I am safe or can be safe with is near me. That's what alone meant. Um, then when I came to the United States, I would say at 10 years old, I let go of that. I traded that belief with the I am alone in my what I think, how I think of what is happening. I am alone in this, right? I am the then I find out that oh shit, there's many people that I think like me or that I think similar like me. And then it came
mm-hmm,
to then in my early adulthood, it was more I'm alone of how I'm feeling, right? We're all thinking the same thing, but I'm feeling different than everybody else, or believing that I'm the only one feeling the same this way, when in reality, many people feel the same way. And I'm like, holy shit, okay. So then I wasn't alone there, right? And then that alone changed once again in the idea that I'm the only one experiencing this, when in reality, we all are experiencing a version of this. And
mm-hmm,
now I am battling with the acceptance of the belief that I alone means I am alone in the sense of I am alone in what makes the variety uniquely me. How I think, what I choose to feel, what decisions I choose to make, how I choose to experience it. I will always be alone in that, because, to bring it back to your point in the beginning, that is the point of the human experience, to have something so unique that you make a complete sense out of it, a complete experience out of it. And now this is why people that choose to be truly themselves end up shining, and people end up loving them and wanting to be them and stuff like this, because they are truly themselves. The people like,
Yeah,
Buddha, and that is not fame, none of that, but truly are themselves, truly find themselves. Mother Teresa, you know what I'm saying, like truly change. And even in the bad sense of the house, people that that we consider the faces of evil, like Genghis Khan, and there's so many other ones, Hitler and all these other ones. They chose, whether conceptions, whether social, whether whatever, they chose, and they went truly for them, and the impact was that. And that is why it is better to numb everybody down and have less of those. Because if not, imagine how chaotic this world be if everybody knew that they had that type of power to do either evil or good, right? Because it's not good or bad, it's just all just experience. That would be a
right.
very chaotic world. So I'm thankful for all the TVs and the news and all these other ways of living, because it kind of keeps everything in a natural order, kind of like nature, right? When things get out of control, a big storm comes along.
I think I think right now that's why everything is chaotic because
Yeah.
there's so many people waking up, and the old paradigm of how things are is crumbling to making a new way that we've never seen before.
Mm. Very
And
uncomfortable.
we don't, yeah, so because we don't know how to experience it, we don't know how to take it.
Mm-hmm.
And because the old system is all about good or bad, everybody's still stuck on that instead of seeing things as a evolutionary process.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. We're just going, to me, as humans, we're going to a whole new timeline. Things
Yeah.
are changing how we see ourselves, the capabilities. And the reality is, technology is going to play a role.
It already has. Just look at the
It's going
amount.
to play,
Look at the amount.
well,
I
I'm going to say it's going to play an even bigger role moving forward because now we're talking about, if you look at Japan, not Japan, China, how they have the robotic suits you can put on.
Yeah.
Elon Musk with the Neuralink. I'm pretty sure at this point they have figured a way to uh, transfer your consciousness. They've been cloning for years. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many things that have been going on that we're not privy to that they have mastered that are gonna come out, and now it's all gonna be dumped in a pot with also people waking up and now being in a new stage. And if you're ever in like astrology with the planets aligning and going through different cycles and things like that, I believe intuition, a lot of things here are going to change and seem crazy when it's just another cycle of human evolution that we're just going through.
Yeah.
And that has happened previously, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you ever get into like the Indian texts and you understand the yuga cycles and things like that, 25,000 year cycles of mankind, what they go through. So it is interesting, and that's why even more you need to understand and be aware of your truth and know what reality you choose to partake in,
Yeah.
because you're always gonna have two sides of the coin, the good, the bad. Oh, it's this, it's that, and people are always going to say their opinions, and you got to decipher through those opinions to see what resonates with you, what I truly believe, and be
Mm.
okay with saying it. And if you're alienated or isolated, truthfully, if any a time in your life that you're isolated or alienated, you're probably on the right path for you. That
Mm-hmm.
is a truth that people aren't willing to take.
It's a very
You
uncomfortable
are,
truth. Yeah.
yeah, you're showing leadership. You have authenticity, and a lot of people can't take those things initially. That's why you may get that hate or frustration because you're demonstrating something within you that most people want. But again, that fear that we all need to let go of, we're hanging on to it.
Well, I
And
mean, I think for me, it's the fear again is in the having to buy into one belief to fully experience, right? And for me the crazy thing is that we all that fear is different
yeah,
for every single person. It may be similar for
correct.
some but different for every single person. And so if that's
Right.
the case, again, like you said, we have to know yourself to be able to ask that question and to be able to find that answer. Now, kind of to go back a little bit what you were saying about, the knowledge that our predecessors have had,
Yeah,
knowledge, true knowledge is never destroyed. It is always there for us to be tapped to for us to tap into, right?
consciousness.
And exactly, right? That's why you believe, like you were saying, always bringing it back to the first point where there's one consciousness, right? And so if there's the case, there's one download, right? It begins downloaded through the DNA, right? If that is all the information and all the other stuff that really truly makes this unique experience in infinite ways, then we can always we have everything we need. We can we have the physical tolerance to withstand certain things, to be aware, right? That's why we have physical reactions when we're like, oh, don't touch that, that's gonna be bad, we should not touch that. We have the common sense of like, oh, okay, this animal's eating that, that could be something that I can eat, you know what I'm saying, something I can use. Oh, this that's how they learned, that's how we can learn. So it's not that we don't have that information, it's just, again, like you said earlier as well, it's just the noise of
Yeah.
many infinite amount of belief in, oh, we shouldn't do this, technology is bad, religion is just to their this, the government is this, that this and that, like all that is just noise, because at the end of the day they are part of our, our experience here, but it's not all of the experience. I can still be a good citizen. I can still follow the laws and still choose to live healthy. I can still choose to live organically and, not participate in the noise. That is a choice, right? But that takes a whole lot of work, like you were saying too, which that's a whole nother subject. But not but, and I wanted to ask you, as far as that goes, the how are you handling this idea that we all have the right to choose to live how we want to live, yet we all have in sort of influence in those directly in our circle, i.e., your kids, your parents, brothers, sisters, stuff like that?
Um, Again, we kind of highlighted a little bit earlier in the chat was just that acceptance piece.
Hmm.
Control, and I just, it's on its way to be published. It's that the mindset and philosophy is control what you can control and let go of the rest.
Hmm.
Because if I have no physical or influential impact on that, then I'm wasting my energy to even make an opinion
Mm.
or statement on it because I don't control what it does or doesn't do. And it's just, again, accepting it and knowing I may not agree with something, but I'm here to experience something totally different.
Mm.
And who am I to judge or tell someone that's not what they should or should not be doing? At times, that is a very difficult pill, especially with your own kids.
Mm.
Um, but I think it's vital to have that awareness to let them, you know, figure some of those things out. And I can always tell them, I'm going to support you, but I don't agree with this. And tell them my point,
Mm.
and or I could just say, hey, congratulations, you're doing something for you. And I can keep my comments to myself. And that's something I need to choose when I sit down and have those conversations because at the end of the day, what I'm really realizing is most of my life, I've provided information because I thought I was helpful. I was trying to be helpful and I was trying to solve a problem or provide a solution for somebody I cared about. Where in reality, none of them at any point in time asked me for my fucking point of view, my solution, or how the
Mm.
fuck I felt about it.
Mm.
And it's like, you know what? I need to keep those comments. And why am I not taking those solutions and applying them to my own life?
Mm.
Why am I not being constructive or criticizing certain things I do in a positive way to better my life? Why do I feel I have the need to make everybody so happy in their life better, but I don't take the time to sit
Mm.
and analyze my own fucking life and
Mm.
make that better?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing now is my opinion is my opinion. As the old saying, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. And there's no point for me to provide something that no one's really asking. Um,
Mm.
Now, if someone asks, and then obviously I provide that. If it's a concern of mine, I can genuinely say, hey, this is what I'm concerned with. This is what I'm worried about. Because clearly I love you. I want the best thing for you. And I want you to make sure you've thought about what it is you're trying to do. So I do think there's a way you can still provide things in a constructive way that isn't, just kind of shitting on somebody's idea or thought process because it doesn't align
Mm.
with your expectation or your beliefs or what you want. Because again, I do believe we are all one consciousness and they're just choosing to experience this because typically we're all in unison of what we want. We all want unconditional love. We all want peace. We all want our way. That's that's the human experience in a nutshell, right? We all want
Mm.
our way. We want to see it how we want to see it. And for the most part, at times in our life, we will get that. But there are going to be times that we have to not only be prepared to stand 10 toes down on our truth and our individual experience, but we also have to respect other people's as well.
Mm.
And again, it goes back to what we talked about earlier, that acceptance. And it is very difficult at times to provide unconditional love, to
Mm.
provide no opinion at all, to allow someone to fall and not provide a solution for their problem and not be the enabler of trying to always do it for them. Especially for kids, right? We because I don't want to clean up the mess, I'm going to do it for them. And over time, me always being there and doing it for them, I'm not providing an opportunity for them to grow and be independent and make those decisions and make the mess, but also clean it up and then figure out why they made the mess, how they can not make that mess again and prevent that mess. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So there's so many processes that I'm taking away from them or anybody if I continue to enable because I don't want to be inconvenienced with something. And it's again like we talked about, it's being in that moment but removing yourself from it, detaching from it and allowing shit to play out.
Hmm.
And you know, it's a challenge, but it's done. It's done in moments. It's done in bits and pieces. And sometimes I fall back, um, but it's okay. Just I tell myself, give myself some grace.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'm not here to be perfect. I'm still figuring this shit out, and I may never have it all figured out. And that's the beauty of the journey, right? I'm continuing to
Hmm.
learn and evolve and see the growth of myself. And it doesn't matter who else sees it as long as I see it. I feel it. I'm proud of me. Because a lot of times I know before when I was making these changes, I would get so frustrated or upset when someone didn't acknowledge the growth or
Hmm.
didn't get excited about the jumps that I've made and the leaps that I continue to do. And I had to sit down and be like, you know what? This is all about me. So why would this person be excited about anything that's solely about me? Most people are excited when it involves themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very true.
But
Very
yeah,
true.
that was a great question.
Hmm. Um,
Nah, this been a really good chat so far, man.
I agree. Always, every chat is good, man.
Yeah,
That
but maybe because it's been so long, you know, this is this has been a good one, at least for me. And
I
maybe
feel.
because I didn't have any expectations coming into
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think for me is it's understanding now how every conversation for me is as productive, and I want to add a extra feeling to it because we're streaming it, and I there's a level of my ego that gets struck with, like, oh, that could be helpful to somebody else out there that is possibly going through this, that, and the third, and blah blah blah. And that makes it, I understand, for me, that makes it a little extra special, or made it a little extra special, where now I don't require that. I
No,
don't
that's good.
need to do it, and I doesn't take away from this experience, right? I know that it is beneficial. I know that that even whether somebody does get assistance from it, whatever, like, it doesn't devalue this, but it doesn't make it better either. It just is. And with
Yeah.
that, for me, I am not, and I don't want to sound a certain way, but I am not as excited about it, because I am equally excited every time you and I have a conversation, my brother, right? Whether it starts about bullshit, whether it starts about business, whether it starts deep, our conversation is always valuable, period.
Yeah.
And it isn't taken away or isn't adding to my life, whether we have one viewer, six viewers, 1,000 viewers, 1,000,000 viewers, 1,000 subs. None of that shit truly makes a difference. I know that it will ma- change the situations, because if I had that many viewers and I had that much money, then we would have a resort already. We would have our own fleet of jets that can fly people out there, and we can teach people how to make their own, grow their own food, and make their own recipes, and utilize cannabis as a medicine, and da da da. It would make all of that shit easier, right? To do all of that shit. And I say shit because with that comes a whole lot of shit. People, things to do, paperwork to file, manage this, take care of that, complaints here, accidents there, right? And all of that is an experience,
Yeah.
yet is it the experience that I want? And a little bit, I kind of want to say yes. I want to have the famous life, although I know what that looks like. I know what that demands, and I know that if I got there, I would be unhappy. I know that. Yet, but then I convince myself, well, the money's good. I can buy good security. I will. I can make big walls. I can do it. Like then I could like anything else. It again is having the knowledge, yet play the game with the bliss of reality and that titter totter, and then I can come online and do my thing and play my games and be Mr. Guru Inc. and all that good shit. I can put myself in that role easy. I've proven that every single day, all the time, no problem. It's just losing its value, man. You know, and then understanding that if I'm doing this 95%, I'll give 5% a good chance. You know what I'm saying? If 95% of the people out here doing the same shit. So everybody out here that like, ah man, you this, you that, you that, this, that, and the third, and blah blah blah, dap me up and all that, and the drop of a hat, an argument away, just like this. Oh, he ain't shit. Cancel that motherfucker. Oh, he did that. Oh, there's a, you know what I mean? Like it's such a again walking on eggshells type of thing where I'm just like, rather than I'll just be me. I don't, I have everything I need. I can create the paradise that I've always wanted. When I retire, I want to live on an island and I'm going to be chilling, grow my own fruits, having my own chickens, eggs, a little some meat here, you know what I'm saying? Living off some seafood. I have that right now. But yet I want to play this fame chasing, money chasing, open retreat to help the world superhero. Like which like what's going on here, Ink? What you want to do, baby? What you want to do? And I have those options, but yet, what the fuck do I choose to do? Sit here in this fucking basement in the dark, feeling sorry for myself because my eyes swollen. I can't do this. I can't do that. My body's in pain. Oh, my this and that and the third. And people don't like me, and nobody comes to my streams. And bruh. Mama Tina, I love you, girl. You know what I'm saying? So
I
it's
mean,
like
no, I I hear you,
it's just where I'm at.
and you brought up a big point. Being honest with yourself. What is it I truly want?
Mm,
And only you know that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And anybody who's a friend or someone that's accepted you will accept whatever lane you choose to go. That's the thing. We got to be comfortable with just we have to be. It's critical that we have to be honest with ourselves.
Mm,
That's the one person we cannot afford to lie to is ourselves, man.
yeah.
And that alone will make life so much easier for us. And we can't be afraid if you want the famous life. Bullshit's gonna come with it, and we got to be
Mm-hmm.
ready for the challenge. And that's
Yep.
the thing. It's okay if you want that. It's okay if you want to be a millionaire.
Yep.
I think everybody on this planet deserves the experience to be a millionaire.
Yep.
Everybody does,
Hmm.
you know,
Not everybody
just
ready to
like
do what it
everybody
takes.
goes. Yeah, but even to be a farmer, everybody should have that experience to be a farmer and self-sustain. Like there's no limit to what we could, should, or wouldn't do. It's just truly sitting down and being honest with ourselves. What is it I want to obtain? What is it I'm looking for? Because truthfully, I want a retreat, but the retreat was more for me
Hmm.
to do these things and sustain it and prove to myself that I could do it and me being a part of it. And in the process, if it helps people, great.
Hmm.
But truthfully, what would I love to do and be simplistic is the island life and have a fucking acai shop and a juice bar. And I'm cool. I wake up when the fuck I want. I got some cannabis around and I have warm weather, you know.
Hmm.
And truthfully, I ain't got to worry about getting a fucking winter jacket, a scarf, some gloves. I could minimize. I don't need all the bullshit in the house. I don't need a car. I don't need all these other things that just overcomplicate my life. Now, adjusting and wearing flip flops would be adjustment for me, but fuck it, I'll do it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But and that's what it is. It's coming to terms. What is it you want? And then once you find out, having the intention and taking inspired action to achieve what it is you really want.
Yeah.
And when you get there, have the gratitude, be appreciative, and be amazed that you get to experience what it is you truly want every day.
Hmm.
And that you can't ask for anything better than that, man, truthfully.
Yeah.
But because we attached to our ego and all these societal constructs and believed we needed to achieve all these things, which every time we got close, the goalposts moved, right? Every time you were that close, somehow the rules changed. And that's how you feel defeated. And then you start comparing yourself to somebody else where that person in most cases is experiencing what they chose to experience and they put in work, they put in patience, they put in time, and they had a knowing. They knew that this is where they were going to go. Where most of us, we're just out there flapping.
Mm.
And then we're mad when we don't get the results, when we didn't have a plan in the first place. We weren't willing to give up something to get something, you know?
Hmm.
So for me, I I I think, you know, sitting down and deciding that is a very crucial point to making that change for yourself, um, and living the life that you want. Because it's
Mm.
out there for all of us. We just need to be honest with ourselves. And we don't need to be realistic. We just need to be honest. Because there's an infinite amount of possibilities of what you can or can't do. And I do believe we are the catalyst, but you put anybody in the right environment, they're going to thrive. That I do believe. You put anybody in the right environment, they're going to thrive. And that's what it is. It's looking around. I'm choosing to change. So the first thing I got to do is what am I going to change within myself? And from there, what outside is affecting me as well? Oh, I need to change this. I need to stop that. Now I can look at my societal, my social circle. Oh man, everybody here is talking about everything completely different of what I want. Everybody wants to stay stateside where I want to go overseas. I need to now start talking to more people that are either planning to go overseas or that are already overseas.
Hmm.
So I can see the steps that I need to take. What do I need to be worried about? What do I need to be concerned with? And as you do that and you get where you are, before you know it, you're going to be living the life that you're choosing to live because that's what you want. So yeah, man, we as well as everybody else, man. We're all taking the necessary steps. Some have figured out the shortcut. Some are gonna get lost, and some want to sightsee on the way. But we all are gonna get where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's for real. That's definitely
And
true.
yeah, and you just got to come to terms with if you choosing to sightsee, don't get frustrated that it's taking so long. Enjoy the pretty things you see on the way.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't have the map, don't get mad when you get lost. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's what they say. If you don't plan, it's something piss poor planning. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
acronyms and little slogans that go with uh, life itself, man. We all know we all can motivate ourselves, and it's truly just being here for the experience and knowing that no matter what the fuck happens, I'm still going to get where I want to go.
Yeah.
Period. No matter what. And oh, by the way, I took this wrong turn, but guess who? I met this person that helped me do this. Oh, now I'm living here. I never thought about that. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like the Thailand thing. I had never in my life thought about ever visiting Thailand. Just did it.
Yeah.
And now that's on the list. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's a possible destination. I do want to check out Vietnam too, though. Um,
Yeah. I'm everywhere, man. If I'm able to move like the wind, I'm everywhere.
yeah,
There's no.
and that is the one positive that you should be looking at. No matter what's going on, I have flexibility that most people don't.
Yeah.
I can be here, there, anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That definitely understanding this thing, this choices, right? Is the yeah, like you said. I do my desire is to make enough money to be able and collect enough chips to maneuver them to be able to let them make their own chips while I continue to move around. And I'm realizing now that I don't need a lot of chips to maneuver throughout the world
Mm,
if my one expectations are low to none and I am appreciative or of all and quit judging things based on a level of idea of good versus bad and just being. Like you said, making a wrong turn isn't a bad thing because it can lead into meeting somebody amazing, right? Making a quote unquote bad choice that leads into something amazing. I used to think joining the military was a horrible choice of mine that
nah,
led to many bad
that's
things in my life, and I wouldn't have what I have right now if it wasn't for that, in my opinion, right? So, there is again this level of wrong or right that I let go, and that frees me from a lot of that. So, yeah, appreciate you, Heaven. We got Luna in the house. Thank you for being here, participating with us, helping out with the chat. Much love, much love.
yeah, yeah.
Connie
They got
Cryptic.
any questions?
Luna and I have been, she always throwing out some good information as far as just conversation goes, self understanding, self love, acceptance, being of help, helping others, like things like that. And she's also a great, just a great human being underneath everything. You know what I'm saying? Has gone through life like us. That may not have been the quote unquote most prettiest story to tell, but yet we persevere and continue on learning about ourselves and pushing forward with grace and respect. every wrong choice you make, have something great comes out, is not just for you but others as well. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, that's from Luna. Um,
I like it.
indeed, indeed. You like it, I love it. You know.
Yeah, baby, there it is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Got that for basic training, man.
Alright.
You like it, I love it. Give me more, some of it.
Yeah.
We like it, drill sergeant. Yeah, we like it.
Some of that foo foo shit.
Really, really, man. That shit gets you, at least while you're there, it takes you off the PT. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Like
Take
anything
your
else,
brain
man. You
off the
fully
burn.
you fully buy into whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's knitting,
Yeah,
shooting a gun, participating in a workout, group workout, whatever it is. You fully
yeah.
dive into it. It is it. That is the experience you will fully remember for the rest of your life, man. The rest of your life. you know.
Hey, remember? I'm gonna go a side note. Remember that time I fucking slid down the fucking that hill by the apartment?
Mm. Hey, yeah. Survivor, bruh.
Oh man,
Survivor.
you ain't lying, man. That shit was.
I think I
I
sent
wish
you
I
a
could have
meme on
recorded that.
that. I sent you a meme on that. Somebody was running
Yeah, it
down the
was.
hill.
Yeah, he did. The one you sent though, the driving one had me dying, bro. I was in tears.
oh yeah. All I could think about was that time we were driving together. Where the hell were we? I don't know where the fuck we was at.
Uh,
Oh, you know, when we
it
were
was in
driving
Denver.
to Denver. You're like reaching for shit, man. You was scared.
Man, 'cause it's
Yo yo yo
like
yo 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 yo.
I sound like Busta Rhymes. Yo yo yo. Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, man. Like I don't know. It's not that if I'm not driving, man, I do the same thing to Isabel. She be like, man, stop. I'm like, hey, I'm reaching for the brake. I ain't even got one. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah,
Damn.
but yeah, man.
it's that it's hard to let go sometimes. It's hard to let go, man. It's
And,
hard to
and,
be.
and you're right, and that's the biggest thing, man. I was a control freak, and now I'm just letting things be. I will say life is a lot more manageable, and I'm not filled with anxiety and frustration. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying?
yeah.
And I'm allowing people just to, if something's fucked up, like I'm not coming in, oh why you this happened, because I'm just, hey, clean it up. That's you. Figure it out. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like I'm not saving anybody anymore, and that's helping me a lot. Yeah.
That's a
But yeah, it's
difficult thing for me is like you were saying earlier as well. Um, keeping my comments, keeping my advice to myself, my opinions, my perspective until asked.
mm,
And even then, having the reservation to just not give it,
yeah.
right? Like there
Mm,
is nothing wrong with just keeping it to myself, man. And yeah, kind of there, kind of where I don't know. But it doesn't mean I don't participate in this thing called life. And is that back and forth? And that's, I think for me, I'm finally understanding the concept. Not finally, I'm truly experiencing in real time the concept of um, wearing a mask or imposter syndrome, whatever you want to call it, whatever label you want to put on
yeah.
it, right? Where it's like, yeah, or that fake it till you make it, also, right?
I used to hate that, man. It used to get me so fucking annoyed to hear
Same,
that.
same, very much so. What
But
time is it over
it's a
there?
real thing. Oh, it's just 8, man.
Oh, okay, yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, 6 hours ahead, right? It's just two, yeah.
Hmm.
Nice, okay. I've been on a bunch of antibiotics for my eye, and I think my other eye is starting to swell up now. There, I don't know what the hell's going on, but yeah, I've been with that. My stomach's been shitty, literally kickity. Um, so I have not eaten for a good hot minute now. I think I'm going on like 18-hour fast right now, which is not too bad. But anywho, I think I'm about to go grab something to eat. And yeah, man. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on or?
No, no. I just, it's good to get a conversation in and talk through those thoughts. Because a lot of times too, what I wrote, you kind of bring that to someone. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're fucking nuts, guy. Like, are
No.
you crazy?" So just to be able to put that thought out there and kind of discuss it
Mm,
is nice.
hell yeah.
You know.
And that is the point of this place for me. What I'm holding on to is the fact that we are
Yeah.
creating a place where people's experience is not diminished or made fun of or seen less than or anything in that nature, where you can come in, share your experience, and us listening, not here to give advice, not here to tell you you're wrong, you're right, to praise you or none of the other, just to listen. And if you need something from us, we're willing to share our opinions, our experience, our perception. But at the end of the day, there's so much healing when it comes to saying your truth in a group, in a group of people that can see you, hear you, and not place judgment because of what you see, believe, experience, or feel. And so that I am proud of, and that is why I'm here. Anytime you feel you want to do this, you give me a shout. You know how things, we pop it up, man. When you have anything on your mind or anything like that, more than happy to. Yeah, I'll be here, man. Shout it out.
So,
Hell yeah. And
uh,
we can't go anywhere unless we get the three L's, baby.
oh man, yeah, it's been a while, but I hope everybody that does listen and those that don't will start kind of using this. But the 3 L's is oh shit, I'm telling you, I forgot them.
Love. Let's start with lead with love.
Yeah, there we go, there we go. I know it now. So the 3 L's is first, you're gonna lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning.
Yes,
Those are your 3 L's.
sir.
So
You about to get that tattooed on you
lead
next
with that
time.
love. Try to be unconditional, not transactional.
Indeed.
Always have a good laugh, whether it's at yourself. If you could do it about yourself more than anything, that shows that you're not taking yourself or life too seriously. So that's going to be beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
And always learn something, man. Always take time to learn something. And at this stage, definitely learn something about yourself. Um, so
Hell yeah. Much love. I
hope
appreciate
you
you. Appreciate your time
have
here,
a
your wisdom.
wonderful Saturday.
Hell yeah. Indeed.
Uh, have Oh, before I let you go, um, how are the gummies?
Oh, they were good. I ate them on the ride back. It was a good ride back. I took my time too. One
Yeah,
time was a little nerve wracking, and I didn't want to smoke with my windows down, so I just ate all the gummies, and I was good, man. I was in a jet.
yeah, because they hit right. They weren't
Yeah.
too.
It wasn't bad. No, no,
Like a little
I
run.
had a few. Yeah, I had a few.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. All right, Big Dog. Well, I'm out of here, but we will see you
All right,
again soon. Later,
man.
later. Let's see. We gotta get the outro. All
All right,
right, we
everyone.
out of here.
Thank you for joining us and have a good night. Lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning. Thank you for joining us and have a good night. Lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning.